and welcome to MS4, and today I'm going to be doing two looks with the new One Size collaboration with Disney, the Fantasia collection, or more specifically the Sorcerer's Apprentice. I have the palette, the highlighter, and this is the lip snatcher. There were other products that I did not choose to pick up, and we will go over why I didn't pick them up. Most of my focus today, if you are a Disney fan, this collaboration is extremely solid and you'll probably pick it up just on that. It's extremely weighty packaging. It is beautifully done. The inner color story, the mirror, and then the mirror folds up to show an iconic scene from the Sorcerer's Apprentice. So if you're a Disney fan, I'm sure that you're going to pick this up. It's also highly giftable if you're a Disney fan or if someone else is a Disney fan in your life. Very great gift idea. Now, what I'm really doing this video for is for either the person who is a makeup enthusiast that in looking at the color story for this, they're thinking that it's a little basic. And also for the person who has a lot of Patrick Starr's other products from One Size, because I'm going to be doing some comparisons to the brand. Now, the logic, it took me just a little bit to figure out how I wanted to pick this up. I ended up waking up early, got on the One Size website, but ended up deciding to pick it up from Sephora because I wanted to put my dollars where they spoke loudest, and that was to Sephora, that I appreciated this brand and that I wanted more access to it. So I ended up purchasing my items off the Sephora website, and I did that on launch day. It did take me a while of thinking about whether or not I was going to pick this up. The palette, I picked up the lip snatcher and the highlighter because they were things that really did not exist in the One Size line, and so I knew absolutely that I wanted to get my hands on those because I've loved the products that One Size has come out with, and that actually is what tipped me over to buy the palette. I trust the brand. I've loved everything that I've gotten from the brand, and I wanted to trust the creator that there would be things that would surprise me, and I was correct. This is something that I would purchase again, even though some of the shades that they have in there are very close to some of the other products. Really quick before we get into the first look, I want to show you in the One Size line what is close to this. Now, holiday last year, Golden Cocoa came out. I'm just going to show you real quick. This is Golden Cocoa, and we're talking about those neutrals. Now we're going to see the swatches on my hand. This is the Disney side, and this is Golden Cocoa. Now you see they're very similar, but there's just some slight differences to them. In the case of the Disney, this shade right here is pink when you get it into the light. It's much more pink. Now farther away it might look the same kind of champagne-y, but it's definitely got a pink read to it. These two shades are a little bronzy peachish. They're a little bit closer, but not quite the same. Again, this leans just a slight bit more pink. In the Disney collab, this one, even though the shades are the same, the finishes are a little different. This has a little more, if you can see, a little more sheen to it. This is most definitely matte in its finish. And then these two in Golden Cocoa, this is a little deeper, more of the chocolate. This is just slightly lighter, and it's a little bit more, it has just a hint of the burgundy to it. So it's kind of matching along with it. This is a little more pink. This is a little more burgundy, but they're all in that shade family. Okay, so they're looking a little bit alike. Okay, and then for the blushes, this is the Disney side, and these are items in his line with the cheek clappers. So this blush here from the Disney palette, this is in Berry Gay. So this is the just slightly lighter slightly a little pinker in the cheek clapper. And then this is the sheen color in Very Gay. And this is the Disney one. Again, it's a little lighter. This is a little redder in its tone. And then this is from the cheek clapper Freaky Beach. So that's the matte, and then that's the shimmer for this. Okay, so those are the swatches. So you can see there's a lot similar, but I feel like with this collection, it's how they're different that really makes this palette sing. I'm going to live swatch some of the other colors for you so you can see what the difference is. In the Fantasia palette, there's two colors that are transformative colors. Now this first one is more like a river of champagne metal, and it's just highly brilliantly reflective. Then this one it can be used as a topper to tap in, but the best payoff is using a brush, actually, if you just want to use it as a color by itself. Now I saw from the promos there was a gentleman who was wearing this color by itself and then the liquid liner, and I love that look, but I wanted to live swatch the highlighter and these two transformer shades for you. So I'm going to show you first just a finger swatch of the more metallic shade. Okay, you'll see just a golden sheen to it. Okay, and then the Disney spelled backwards. I'm going to do it finger swatch and then show you with the okay, now it's really flaky and it's going to have a different, so like you're going to hardly see it on a hand swatch at first with the finger not flipping you off. Okay, but then I want to show you using a brush. So the light treatment, if you're just dabbing it over this, over another color, that's just going to give you like a very light flaky topper. But then I'm going to go in now with a brush, and I'm going to use a different part of my hand because it's easier for me to apply with the brush. Now it reads pinkish purple in one direction, and then it reads a blue, like a light icy blue, in another direction. So depending on where you're seeing this at, you'll see it in a different way. Okay, so a little more real estate there. And I don't know if on camera if we can get the blue right there maybe. But it's pretty, but I like, if you're going to use it just by itself, to be using a brush with it to get more of that payoff for it. And then the highlighter. Now this is really cute. Has Fantasia logo on the front. And then when you open it up, it has the smaller Mickey icons, and then you can see in it, I don't know if you can see that, but you can look at the promo pictures for that. You can see the big Mickey, or I think if you tip it right going this direction, you can see the bigger Mickey. Anyway, you can see promo pictures that are better of this, but I just wanted to show you the live swatching, and now I'm finger swatching this. But I'm going to put it below the blush shade so they're all together. And this one has a little bit of a light taupe base to it. So if you're extremely fair, you might use this as more of a blush topper, or if you're just doing like an interesting, like the shadow, you're doing a bronzer, you could do it as a light bronzer topper if you're just keeping that kind of bronze summery look. But this this right here is the highlighter. You see where I'm going, you can kind of see the base a little bit to it, but then there's the sheen. And you can use this as an inner corner highlighter, you can use it as a bronzer, but it's really beautiful. And I like using it as a bronzer topper, but if you shear it out, the base doesn't show up as much, so you're getting just more of that sheen to it. Now it does have very tiny sparkles in it. Normally I am really against that, but for some reason this particular color just looks really lovely. It does have that kind of magical fairy dust without looking like, you know, glitter fallout. So anyway, swatches. So if you see swatches while I'm putting makeup on, you'll know what happened. Now this first look, what I want to do is go into the more deeper colors, these kind of berries. And so what I want to do is a berry look, using some of these as like a contour color, a little bit of light pink sheen in the corner, but then really focusing on the berries. And I'm going to use those both on the cheek and then on my eyes for that. And then we're going to look at, make a berry lip to go with it. So, okay, here we go. And I'm going to use my small mirror while I'm doing this, just because this is a larger palette. And I do want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take off my spectacles. Okay, and I already have my sculpting, my Made for Shade bronzer on. And I'm going to dip into the blush called Orchestra. Okay, and I'm going to apply it right next to my bronzer, and you can see that this is very pigmented. The blushes, like the bronzers, are very pigmented, so if you're light skinned, you'll want to go in with an easy hand and blend. The lovely thing is people with very dark skin can actually read the color from this line's blushes, which is fantastic. So and I'm going to connect up, and I'll go through and repowder this to kind of set it down and make it not quite as defined. Okay, so I'm applying right on that cheek line and then blending up. And this is definitely a berry look. Okay, so there's that. And then I'll go in just really lightly with the one size. This is what I have as my base makeup today. The powder. And I'll just go over the cheekbones, just to give that a little blend. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the highlighter. So I'll grab my highlighter brush, and I'm going to keep it where it's going towards the color, more color part, and then I'll blend it up. And I feel like this is just one of the stealth products that, like, if you just applied this, it's super pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the eye look. Okay, so I'm going to go in first, and I'm going into the brown shade. This is the Broomstick shade. And I'm going to be using that for my crease. Now, when most people look at this palette, they can very easily see the neutral eye with a peachy blush, with a little bit of that more bronze, shimmery shade, peachy bronzy in the eye. And I feel like they really feel that's the one look that is just pretty obvious. The other look, and this is the second look we're gonna do is gonna be the iconic Patrick Star look from the palette, which is a neutral eye and a red shiny lip, but with some of that color that looks like liquid metal on the corner of his eye. So we're gonna do that for our second look. But this one, we're really focusing on how to make that berry look out of it. Okay, and I'm trying to remember to blend up through here, because that's usually if I'm falling down, I'm not getting my blend up higher. All right, and then next I'm coming into the darker shade. This is D minor. Okay, and that's in that brown with just a hint of the berry in it, but it's mostly brown. And I'm going up towards the eyebrow, blending it into the crease, and then I'm going to tap the very edge of my brush in it, and I'm going to bring it down on the outside of my lash line. Now, other side. And then under the lash line. Okay, so now you see if you wanted to do just the peachy look, you could take this color right here and just go across the lash, the top of the lid here, and you could be done. You could have the peachy look. Brush a little bit of the peach blush on instead of the berry, and you'd be good to go. But what I'd like to do for this one is and we're going deep and sultry. So I want to take some of that blush in Orchestra, load up my brush, and then I'm coming in here and adding that to the lid and up just a little bit from that. So now we're definitely getting that more berry read to it. Now, if we wanted to, we could just do like a lighter cream color matte and do an all matte look for this. In this case, what I want to do in the corner is use this light pink, this guy right here in the corner. So for that, I can go ahead and just take my finger into the shade and then just tap it in the corner and then out onto the lid. But I'm not taking it too far because I don't want to lose that more berry shade in the middle. So I'm dabbing in again. Now you can also use those lid transformers. The one this one can read very, very bright pinkish, purpley blue, and makes a great inner corner color. Okay, so then I want to go in with a pencil brush, and I want to take, we've got a little bit of the dark, the D minor, but I want to go back into the blush tone and bring that in as well. So then we're also going over here. Okay, and then I'll go into the chocolate D minor color, deepen that up. Okay, so then I'll clean my brush off because we're just going to make sure that I've got everything blended out. Clean it off again. Okay. So now I'll go in with a little bit of, One Size has a busty brown eyeliner that Patrick likes to use. I'm just going to use one of my Laura Geller Kohl Kajal liners. And I'm not going to do a lot of lining. I'm just giving it a little bit of extra oomph. Okay, so then we'll add some mascara, and then we're going to do the lip. Okay, so now we'll put the spectacles back on and do the lip. Now, I have fallen in love with the glossy side of this lip. Now I've seen Patrick's done lip liner, it looks like, but his line does not yet have a lip liner out, so I don't know if they're going to be coming out with that. I'm really hoping to see more lip products from the line. But until then, I'm going to use my Rare Beauty lip liner in bold, and I'm going to line and then fill in the sides of it because I just want the gloss to show mostly in the front, but then with that berry read to the side of it. So. Okay. Now for this look, we're going to be using the High Shine Glossy side. This has that really shiny look, but it's all really finely milled. So that part of the reflective is just shine, but then it also has very tiny sparkly particles of color, but it does not feel gritty at all. It's just a really, really fabulous gloss. I'm going to gently wipe off the gloss part that got my lip liner on the applicator. So you can leave more of the reed there, or you can blend it. Okay, so you can have more of that mauve-y look, but with the shine. This gloss just by itself is really beautiful. I would just wear the gloss by itself on the regular. I just think it's stunning. So I'll get in a little closer. Don't panic. Okay. And again, if I didn't want quite the color read on my cheeks, I could powder that down more. But I'm wanting to be able to have you see the color to it. But this is the look for the more less bright red and more of the berries out of the palette. So stay tuned. We're gonna go ahead and do look number 2 in a moment. See you then. Okay, we are back with you for look number 2. So I'm going to be trying to recreate the iconic look that Patrick Starr has going on for this launch. Now I'm going to make a couple of changes because I want to show the peachy blush off, and Patrick, it looks like, has the more burgundy blush, the orchestra, on during the iconic look. But what I wanted to say is that for Fantasia, the red cloak is a color that's iconic for this collection. The Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey is iconic, and I feel like Patrick, by choosing the Sorcerer's Apprentice and then choosing the colors and choosing this stunning lip color with the Lip Snatcher, has really created an iconic look to go with the iconic Disney. So I feel like that's something that really pairs well together, is the iconic look and the iconic Disney look. He was talking about that they opened the color vaults to them to pick out the different color options. But as we saw in some of the swatches, these are colors that Patrick loves. And so, you know, the rest of the One Size collection has these colors in it. But what we're doing for the iconic look is the eye is a neutral eye with that sheen of color, a liquid lipstick, a liquid liner, and then the Lip Snatcher, the red lip. So we're going to be recreating that. So we're starting out. I reset my face, so we've just got the Made for Shade bronzer on, and I'm going to go in with a light brush this time, less concentrated, and I'm going to be using the peach side of the blush. So we're going in, and again I'll use my smaller hand mirror so you can see better, because the mirror works great for this palette, but for filming, if I use the mirror, I'm right in front of my face. So all right, here we go. Okay, so we're dipping into the peachy side. And again, this looks lighter in the swatch than on the face. You can definitely get a deeper read for that. So here we go. And like I said, with these, I'm keeping them a little bit deeper so you can see the color. Probably for my day-to-day, I'd put this on and then powder it down so it was less colorful. I'll finish my sentence. And again, I'm just trying to meld in the blush with my highlighter. Not my highlighter, sorry, my bronzer. And then if we wanted to add that more sparkly blush, we could dip into it and use it more as a cheek topper. Okay. And if we were looking at taking the highlighter, this time rather than, I might take a fan brush to keep it very selectively applied on the very top of my cheekbones. Okay. Now for the eye look, what we're going into is the brown shades, again to do the contour like we did with the other eye look, but then we're going to be using the color transformer that looks more like the champagne liquid metal on it for that inner highlight and going up into the eye before we go in with the liquid liner. So we're going back into the lighter of the brown shades. And we're definitely bringing that pretty solidly into the crease to make sure we're giving that contoured look. Okay, and then we're bringing in the darker brownish color. And I'm going to set up the idea of the wing that then when I do my actual liquid liner, I'm going to follow them to the bottom of this line. Okay, and again, I'm going to bring a little bit underneath my eye. Okay, and now the color that's in the 4 quad of colors, let me swatch that for you. That one is a little more pink. Just as a reminder from the other swatches. So I could go in with that one if I was looking for more of that warm pinkish leaning color. But what I want to do is go in with the transformer, because this is really brilliant, the bright shine. So let's, if I compare those two together, this one both has more of a liquid metal, and then it has light sparkle to it, but you see how much more of an oomph that has. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go in, I think though, with my finger first, and then if we need to adjust anything, we can go back in and change that with a brush. But I'm gonna go in So I'm just trying to be careful to keep it on the upper part of the lid and the waterline so I'm not okay. And I can go in, once I have my liquid line in, I can go in and do more with the colors themselves if I need to adjust those. Okay, and now I'm feeling like I'm getting enough of that light payoff for that. And we'll go in with the liquid liner. Now I just have the regular liquid liner from his line. The Disney one has just the Disney details, but because I already have this liner, I didn't pick up the Disney one. So here we go in with that. So I'm going to be going down lower into my lash line than I normally do for the wing. Just again trying to follow that more iconic look. Okay, now I'm going to be making the line, and like I said, I know I'm going to be going along the bottom part of this line with the eyeshadow that I made before. So I'm just going to place that and then pull. So I'm placing it here and then pulling. And then I'm just going to connect that up. And it's a little bit wider of a line. And then I'm going to connect this up this direction also. So now I'm making that a wide line from here. So this is a wider wing than I would normally do too. If you were just doing a baby wing, you wouldn't do it so wide, but it's a very glam look that we're going after here. So I'm gonna come over to the other side and then we'll adjust this with a little bit of powder. And you can always practice right before you shower at night. You go to bed, you take your makeup off. I'm just checking if I'm even. Okay. And if we wanted to, we could wait till it's dry and then come in with our pencil brush into the deepest shade of the eyeshadow that we used again, and just tap next to that. and then underneath just a little bit. And on the other side, feels like it's dry enough now. And again, I'm just taking my pencil brush and tapping next to the line. And down below. Okay, so I'm going to apply some mascara and then we're going to do the lip. Okay, now for the lip. So the liquid lip side, if you want to do a liner for that, you can. In the other look, we use the Rare Beauty lip liner, and we could do that again. Patrick doesn't show if he's using a lip liner or if he's just going with the tip of the lip snatcher and doing a line in that, but it looks like he probably has a lip liner because it doesn't show him lining his lips. So either that's not a brand piece or it's a brand piece that's coming. So we're going to go ahead and do the red lip side first. It's a beautiful color. Here we go. So this goes on creamy. It is like a regular lipstick, a liquid lipstick. Goes on creamy, dries down, but it feels more powdery than some of the other liquid lipsticks, and it's very comfortable to wear, and I'm not usually a liquid lipstick person. So we could just leave this as a matte color, but we are going to apply some of the gloss on top of it to get that shiny red lip. I'm going to use my finger to apply it. For one thing, because I want to avoid as much staining on my applicator as possible, because I do love this gloss and I would like to wear it with other items or just by itself with no color. So I'm trying, some of my other glosses that I use only with a certain lip color, I don't mind as much, but this I'm really trying to keep from getting other color into it. So I'm just going to tap it on my lips, but this is if it's just matte. And then if I want to, I can get I have makeup wipes handy to clean it off. But this is so portable. You could just pop it in your purse and apply it on the go. It's not long wearing as far as, you know, for a liquid lipstick. It's not part of the new types of lip colors that are like, it's not at all transfer proof. It definitely transfers and it definitely wears, and it doesn't stand up to greasy eating at all. But if you're just wearing it by itself and you're not doing a lot of eating or things like that, then it wears really, really nicely. So let me apply my spectacles. This is such pretty packaging. Looks a little bit like it has the one size, and then it has Disney on the other side of it. Looks like a little baton twirler thing, or again like a pervertible, but this is a family Disney collaboration, so we're not going there. But it's just absolutely adorable packaging, very sleek, very cute. Manages to be elegant as well as fun and playful at the same time. So I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so here is the finished look for this. I'll get in a little closer so you can see that. Don't panic. And again, I'm keeping my blush a little darker. Probably I would go through and repowder that, but you can see the highlighter and this iconic red lip. Really enjoying that. So some final thoughts. There we go. All right. I really love this collection. I didn't think that I would be so incredibly pleased with it when I got it home. But I really had to trust the brand, to trust Patrick Starr that he'd create things that would be really stealth and really beautiful. Things that wouldn't just say that, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's just a neutral palette with, you know, a couple of color reads, you know, that I might get one or two looks out of it. I really feel like you can get, you know, immediate 3 solid looks that are just immediate. But if you keep playing with these shades and different ways to apply them, I think you'll find that there's, you know, multiple sorts of looks. Now, there's the hyperbole, oh, you can get, you know, infinite looks from this palette. No. But you can get absolutely iconic looks and have them be quality and sharp and on it for that iconic look. And then you can get a couple of everyday looks that are really beautiful. And it also is something that can read from multiple skin tones. So I feel like the elements of this palette, you know, if the lightest tones, if you're light skinned and the lightest tones don't read as much on you, but the darker colors will. And if you're darker skinned, those lighter tones can just sing. So I feel like this is a palette that's both iconic and everyday, works for multiple skin tones, and is just fun. And then you get into other elements like this, which is also iconic. It has the Mickey logo, but the prettiness of it, the fact that you can use it as a bronzer topper if it's a little too dark, if you're lighter skinned. If you're deeper skinned, you can have all of those beautiful reflex in it that show up just as kind of like a wash of stars. It's just so pretty. So I feel like in the collection, some of the other things might not be as necessary. The powder puff with the Mickey ears, I don't wear my powder like that. I see it's cute, but you know, it would just kind of be unused in my collection. And I feel like I'm getting the Mickeyness from the other elements. And I feel like the palette feels weighty. It's really nice with the packaging, but also very storable. It's not like it's going to be just taking up tons of room in my collection, or I can store it like this and it's really, really pretty. And again, it's iconic. So I feel like it does kind of a dual duty of being both an iconic look and an everyday pretty look. So I feel like that's actually really good for my collection. And it's something that, you know, if I wanted to, technically I could travel with it. But I do think that this kind of lip, it's not new having the dual ended of things, but this is so comfortable and it's so pretty by itself or with other liners. And then the red by itself is a matte look. You can take those other liners and do like a lip. You could take like a more berry shade in your lip liner and do an ombre with this in the center is the bright red. And I feel like there's a lot of things you could do with it. But as far as like a liquid lip, I like it I find it's really comfortable. But this shine is so pretty by itself, or with the berry lip liner, or even on top of this to make this a shiny red lip. I'm really loving this, and I'm just so excited for One Size to bring out more lip products. So that's, you know, I'm super excited for this, and I'm super excited for whatever's to come. So anyway, I decided that I was going to go for this collection, and I'm really happy I did. Do I have things in the collection that kind of read like some of the colors? Absolutely. Do I have anything so iconic and stunning as the packaging? No. And do I have something like the highlighter and like those transformer shades on top? No. So I am super, super happy with all of my purchases. I feel like this is fun. I get to indulge in a Disney fantasy, have these iconic looks of both the packaging and the looks that I can create itself. I'm supporting a fabulous man who wears makeup, and I feel like the more that brands like Disney can endorse creators like that, the better place it is for everyone. You know, all of my friends who are the LGBTQ plus, for myself, for just that feeling that difference can be wholesome, that we can have the childlike and the wonder and the magic for everybody. I think that's super important. And in this case, I chose to buy it from Sephora because I want Sephora to know that I also would like to support such fabulous creators and their makeup lines. So anyway, this is M is 4. These are your 2 looks from the Fantasia One Size collab. Hope you enjoyed this. Please make comments below. If you have any questions too, I'd be happy to answer for you if I can. But until then, embrace some magic, whatever it is. So anyway, this is Monica and M is 4, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.